So you can find a girlfriend without God, but you certainly can't find a wife. And if that sentence triggered you, good, this video is probably aimed at you. The truth that most people don't want to hear is that it's actually quite easy to get a girlfriend. You don't need God for that. You don't need clarity. You don't even need character. All you need is timing, attraction, attention, and a little bit of luck. That's why so many people who have dated, they fall in love and then they still feel empty. For me, a wife is different. A wife is someone you build a life with, someone you grow with, someone you learn with, someone who will walk with you even when you're not the version of yourself that attracted her. But I feel like that's where people have it so messed up. They lean onto their own understanding of what a wife should be by social media, by people's expectations, by outside opinions, and then when things finally mess up, they're shocked as to how they haven't found what they think that they found. People have this sense of naivety about them when they think they found what they wanted. Then you hear people say things like, that's not the person I thought they were. I didn't think they'd be like that. No, you just didn't know what you wanted, and that's the truth. And this is where faith comes in. And of course, if you're not religious, just stay with me because this applies to you too, so don't switch off. Jesus cut right through this. He said, a wise man builds his house on rock, a foolish man builds his house on sand. Now, not if, when the storm comes, the house built on sand will always collapse. Now, most of these people that you see before you, they build relationships on sand. It's lust, convenience, attention, validation, and then they're confused as to why their relationships fall apart the moment life starts applying pressure. If you actually read the Bible and not just quotes on Instagram, you'd realize that there's actually a blueprint to be followed here. Not just the person who can become a person worthy of marriage, but the person who can actually sustain one. It talks about discipline, sacrifice, humility, leadership. I'm a firm believer that the Bible is the best self-help book out there. These aren't religious traits, they're human ones. But most people don't want that. They reject the blueprint. They want love without responsibility, intimacy without commitment, and then a partner without even trying to become better. And that's what I mean when I say people lean onto their own understanding and then they end up with women of the world. And when I say women of the world, I'm not saying that to insult anybody. I'm describing a mindset the same way there are men of the world. People are obsessed with looks, money, pleasure, status, whatever they can get their hands on. It will always be external because internally something's missing. And here's another part that I wanted to talk about, is that you don't just stumble into relationships, you attract what you are. If you're a chaotic person, you attract chaos. If you're someone who indulges in pleasure, you will attract somebody who will feed that addiction. And if you're someone who loves the materialistic things, then you will attract someone who feeds that materialistic desire. And lastly, if you're a shallow person, you'll attract shallow people. I think this law applies whether you are a believer in Christ or not. I think for followers of Christ, we would say that God allows these people to walk into your life, or will introduce you to these people to show you at the time who you really are. And for non-believers, you'd say your habits, your mindset, your environment shape the kind of people that you attract. These are two different languages, but they hold the same truths. People keep on looping relationships. It'll be the same relationship, different name, same ending, different face, same pain. They think that the problem is women or men, but the common denominator will always be them. It will always be you. It always surprises me. People go through adversity, and instead of growing, they escape. They chase money for validation. They chase bodies for ego. Then they chase material things to fill some kind of void that they're feeling. And that's why most people feel empty after they do these things. They think that they found that thing, but that's the trap. That's how it gets you, and that's how a lot of you guys fall for it. I'm not saying that faith will magically get you a perfect relationship, because that won't happen, but what it will give you is direction. It gives you standards that doesn't change with trends. It makes you ask better questions like, not does she like me, but is she good for my future? Not does she excite me, but is she going to bring me peace? Is she going to bring peace to my life? Is she going to add to my life? And that's the difference between a girlfriend and a wife. A girlfriend can match your lifestyle, but a wife has to match your values. And for the non-believers watching this too, stop looking outward before you look inward. Become somebody worth building with. Your discipline, your habits, your emotional regulation, your purpose, your integrity. If you can't respect your own life, then how can you expect somebody else to? Because all that attraction without alignment is a disaster waiting to happen, I can assure you. And here's where the wake-up call comes in. A lot of you aren't lonely because you haven't met the right woman. You're lonely because you haven't become the best version of yourself. Or I don't want to say the best version, but a respectable version of yourself. And instead of fixing that, you're trying to distract yourself with relationships. You don't need a partner to save you. You just need to change who you're becoming. God or not, the rule still applies. Stop leaning onto your own understanding when your own understanding has failed you. There is a pattern. Just take a moment to look at your outcomes and be honest. This video isn't here to comfort you. That was my intention. It's here to wake you up. You've seen the patterns, you've seen the trends, because the longer you wait, the longer you don't listen to this video, you're going to build connections that were never really meant to last. So really it is on you. You can find a girlfriend without God. You can. But a wife requires alignment, growth, and intention. And whether you can call this God's plan or a personal responsibility, the work starts with you. If you guys like this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share it to a friend who you think may need to see this video. And if you guys want to join a community full of like-minded people, then I'll leave a link down below in the description as well as the comment section of this video. And I'll catch you guys, of course, in the next video. God bless. Take care.